Thomas, just an ordinary man. I do not know why Jesus called me to be a disciple, one of his closest followers. For about 3 years I followed Jesus as we walked throughout Galilee and Judea. I listened to Jesus to teach the people. I saw him heal the sick and crippled, and even saw him raise a man, Lazarus, from the dead after being dead for 4 days. Even after 3 years of listening, watching, and traveling, I still had questions. One example was on the last night of Jesus' time with us. He was telling us that he was going to go away and would be preparing a place for us to come join him. And I blurted out, "Lord, we do not know where you are going. How can we know the way?" And Jesus replied, "I am the way." And later he said, "I have been with you all this time, and you should know the answers to all your questions." Then Jesus made a promise that he would send his Spirit to us and comfort us, guide us, and teach us what to say to all who would listen. This is when we got up and we went to our private prayer place. And after a while, the temple guards came and arrested Jesus. The next morning, the high priest and his court took Jesus to the Roman magistrate Pilate and demanded that Jesus die. I heard the religious leaders demand Jesus' death. They even inflamed the people to join their chant, to crucify him, crucify him. I watched as they placed a heavy wooden cross over his shoulders, and he would drag his cross throughout the city and up a craggy hill to be put to death. I watched from the back of the crowd as they drove the nails into his hands and feet. I watched him die a terrible and painful death. I left brokenhearted because this man, who I believed was the chosen one, we had been looking for, and he was to show us to the Father's love. I hid for the remainder of Friday, all day Saturday, and the beginning of Sunday. Finally, I went to search on Sunday for the other disciples. I found them in the room where he had shared our last meal with Jesus. As I entered the room, all of these present began to talk. "Thomas, Jesus is alive. Jesus came to see us. Jesus isn't dead." Finally, I screamed at them, "Shut up, because it's all impossible. People don't come back to life after being dead, and most apart for 3 days. It was a ghost." I refuse to believe. If he is real and not a ghost, let him come to me. Show me the nail scars. Let me touch them. While I was walking, it grew very silent. No one was talking. They were just staring at something. I turned, and there stood Jesus. Then he spoke. "Thomas, come here. See the nail holes. Feel the open wound in my side." I fell to my knees and cried, barely audible, "My Lord, my God." Then louder and louder, "My Lord, my God, I believe." My belief stayed strong for the rest of my life. I was given the honor of serving Jesus by traveling to what is now known as Turkey and India, where I was killed for my beliefs.